The Dice Men Cometh! Hi, we're the Dice Men Cometh. My name's Trent.
I'm Garth.
And I'm Mark, and today we're reviewing Core Worlds. Released in 2011 by Stronghold Games, was one of the games that really put that company on the map. Plays 2 to 5 players in around 90 minutes, although your learning games are going to be a lot longer.
Now this is done pretty well. It got its second printing in 2013. It's had 2 expansions, and one of which is an essential purchase, especially if you're a fan.
Yeah, it's designed by a guy called Andrew Parks, who was working more recently on D&D Attack Wing. And look, from all accounts, he's a really nice guy, and he really doesn't deserve what it is that 3 losers from the other side of the planet are about to do to his game. I'm sorry, Andrew.
Now, it's one of the games that tried to do something a bit interesting with the deck building mechanic. Did it succeed?
If you've ever played Race for the Galaxy and said, this isn't enough of a slog and doesn't take up enough of my time, then this is for you.
In a game like Agricola, you feel like you've only just got your engine into second gear when the game's about to end. But this game, it feels like you're cruising in top gear for way too long, with nothing interesting to see out the window and praying you run out of petrol at any minute. There's 10 rounds in the game. You really only need probably 6 or 7 to achieve the same effect. It has a real rinse and repeat feel, just a bit too much, and nothing really changes between the rounds.
Now, there is a game in here, but it seems like you're at the mercy of the cards that get drawn and by your seeding order, which has way too much influence on what happens.
Yep.
The only interaction between players is someone grabbing a card before you get to it. There's no way to stop it.
Also, it's really just a question of keeping up with everybody else. If you slip behind, like I tend to do, and you're behind the pace, then you're just doomed. There's really no way to catch up. Not that I found anyway. And I agree with you about there not being enough interaction between the players. Now, this isn't necessarily a problem in a lot of other games, but I put it to you that in those games you're trying to do stuff that's a bit more interesting than you are in Core Worlds. Here it just makes the tedium more apparent. But one exception to this is a card called the Smuggler's card, which was very interesting because it lets you steal energy from other players, and it's one of the only points of interaction in the whole game, and I really wish there'd been more of it.
Here.
More, please.
So the bottom line is, if I'm going to play a sci-fi game like this for 3 hours, I'm going to play Race for the Galaxy twice, or even half of TI3.
Yeah, now the thing is, there is a game here, and it would reward a lot of replays. You play it, you will figure out what the cards do, how the combos work. I just don't think the game warrants dozens and dozens of plays.
We keep comparing this to Race for the Galaxy in our heads, and that's probably a little bit unfair because aside from the fact that they're both card games and they both have that Space Empire theme, they are quite different. You could have both in your collection quite happily if you really like that kind of thing.
Yeah, look, I couldn't find anything to have me invested in my player race. It was very dry, there was no special powers, no personalities, it was very vanilla. Or beige,
Off-white?
bone.
Ivory.
Yeah, look, now in scoring this, I really want to separate Revolutions from the base game and Galactic Orders. So for the base game and Galactic Orders, I give it 6 grunts out of 10. But for Revolutions, it's just worth nothing.
Look, for Revolutions, I'm going to give it 3 photon torpedoes up the wormhole. But the base game and Galactic Orders have some life signs. 6.5 out of 10.
Me, I'd like to put the whole thing on a rocket and set it into the heart of the sun with our mate Dave on board because he's the one who made us play it. Now, having said that, there is actually a well-designed game in this. It is clearly very well thought out, but unfortunately it put all of us to sleep with its stun settings. So I can only give it 4 out of 10 science fiction cliches.
Not 7 of 9.
Hey!
Now, I don't want to say this on camera, but I have a very small dick.